As you think about your work and the domain of theology as a whole, and perhaps religious studies as well, what do you think are some ways in which this eudaimonic turn, this increased explicit emphasis on well-being, could be advanced?
Well, I think we just have to highlight it as an important issue. I think what we see in the culture at large is a deep hunger for these kinds of issues. I think the hunger is there because there are not so many places where deeper exploration of the character of good life, of how should we live our lives, what is life worthy of living, are being done. Actually, very few. Increasingly, it has also been marginalized in our large universities, which originally were founded precisely to pursue these kinds of questions. So I think it's a very much alive question. We see that also with students who are flocking to courses of this sort. And I think we need to simply boldly take it up. I think the difficulty partly also of taking up this question is because you will have multiplicity of accounts of the good life kind of contesting with one another. You have that in major world religions. They're kind of universalistic religions. Each one of them has an account of good life at its heart. Each one of them makes claims to truth, but each is particular. You have a clash of universalisms, right? And people are kind of afraid of the clash of those universalisms, so we have to kind of figure out a way in which to talk about these issues, rather than simply, as has been often the case, attend in terms of our public engagements to diminishing suffering and to increasing freedom, and leaving each individual on their own to decide what the good life for them is. Now, there's something quite right about each individual person deciding, but the resources have to be provided for folks, and there are these amazing rich resources that can be mined from the history of humanity, as well as the sciences that are providing us with quite a bit of data today as well. When we gather all of these together, I'm confident that we can think in much deeper ways and more compelling ways about what it means to lead a meaningful life, a good life, and that will be to the good of humanity as a whole. You know, my sense is that unless we explore these issues, we become experts in means. How to get from point A to point B. With technological prowess, we approach that. We have skills that we have developed as groups and as individuals. We achieve goals that we set for ourselves, and we're good at that. The only thing is that we haven't deeply reflected about what our ultimate goals should be. And I think that's the calling of theology, that's the calling of religious studies, that's the calling ultimately of humanities, philosophies, and literature, arts, in some way to contribute to us finding way to articulate the good life that we should be striving toward.